Professor Jim Hall from the Institution of Civil Engineers. Thank you very much for joining me now. Now, civil engineering, it can be a very exciting profession, but there is still a shortfall of engineers. You want more. Why is there a shortfall?
Well, things are getting better. The number of young people going into engineering degrees and then going from degrees into the profession is increasing, but we do want more. There's a lot of engineering challenges facing this country and around the world, so there need to be more well-qualified people.
It can be very exciting. We're looking at building bridges, building roads, building tunnels. What else do civil engineers do?
Civil engineering is the engineering of the infrastructure systems that we depend upon. So it's the transport infrastructure, roads, bridges, tunnels, ports, airports, also the water supplies, dams, reservoirs, pipelines, wastewater treatment, the drainage and flood protection infrastructure, and also the energy infrastructure that we depend upon, including the massive expansion in offshore wind that's going on at the moment. And civil engineers are also deeply involved in creating the built environment and creating structures as well. So tall buildings, other big structures have engineering inside them to hold them up.
And what is the institution doing to attract young people?
Things are improving in terms of the number of people coming into the industry. More school leavers going into university, more university leavers going into the industry. But we do need more young people, and the Institution of Civil Engineers is working on that really hard. We have a STEM ambassador program. So these are young engineers who go into schools and talk about their experiences. And I should say that a long time ago, when I was in school as a teenager, it was a member of the ICE coming into that school and talking about their job, which really inspired me and helped me to make the choice in terms of what I would do when I left school. Another thing the ICE has done is develop this great computer game, Citizen, which puts young people in the situation of having to come up with engineering solutions to challenges that are faced in cities, things like flooding or congested transport. And we work also with our STEM ambassadors, these young engineers who go into schools and help young people work through these challenges in Citizen with the groups of school children, and that's proved to be incredibly successful.
So higher education can be very, very expensive, and you have apprenticeships. A lot of people want to do that now. Just tell me about what is required when it comes to an apprenticeship.
An apprenticeship is a great option for students who want to have more applied experience while they're studying, and also it gives them the opportunity to earn while they learn. And that's really applicable to a whole wide range of possible young people. It also gives them the opportunity to catch up in some areas, to do access type qualifications so they can get up to the standards that they need in order to become engineers.
When people think of civil engineering, they just think of maths and they think of science. This is what you need. But are there softer skills that you need? Is there more to it than that?
Oh, yeah, because civil engineering and engineering in general is also a creative industry. We're designing things. We work in teams, so we have to be able to get along with people and deliver stuff. We work in the environment, so knowledge of the environment is really important. And we work with and for people, so we need engineers who really care about people.
But you're still trying to attract more women into engineering. How are you getting on?
Things are moving in the right direction. There are more women coming into engineering, but of course there's more that needs to be done. We're not as gender balanced as we should be. A lot of that goes right the way back to schools, to stereotypes that are created at a very early age. And some of it is to do with the subjects that girls are encouraged to study in their schools.
And civil engineers can have a real impact when it comes to climate change because it is all about construction and your built environment. Is that something that's drawing the younger generation in?
Yeah, absolutely. I speak to a lot of young engineers, and they're motivated by engineering because it gives them an opportunity to actually come up with some of the solutions of things that they're worried about. So civil engineering is at the center of the green energy revolution, the transformation of transport, of the way in which we heat our homes. And it's also really important in terms of how we cope with the impacts of climate change. So how we cope with increasing flooding, increasingly hot temperatures.
So civil engineering is an exciting career choice, would you say?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it now is an incredibly important time for civil engineers.
Okay, Professor Jim Hall, thank you so much for joining us.